So I wanted to just share with you today something I did, and you kind of might laugh at it, but so I was listening to a guy the other day, and he was talking about a vision board, and really right now things are kind of just skewed. Your vision is kind of messed up, and I think sometimes God blocks our vision sometimes and says, "You let me handle the future. I got this." So right now, I couldn't think about what the vision was, but what I could think about was what I'm praying for. Let me focus on what I'm praying for. So I decided to create a prayer board, and as you can see, I'm not an artist, but I wasn't really making this for people to see, but really for me. But then after I made it, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna share this because after I got through doing it, it made me really, I felt good about what I was praying for. But then I realized how much I had to be thankful for after I did it. And I just thought, God, thank you so much for making me do this. And I was so glad. So this is my prayer board. And so what did I put on my prayer board? The things I'm praying for. So I got my husband up here, who I'm praying for to be the man of God he's been called to be and to just guide our family. I've got my mom and Bill right here, and Bill's got stage 4 cancer, but right up here I wrote cancer is defeated because we're praying and believing that God's going to heal that and defeat that. Bill is tough, and he's not going to give in to this, and he is going to fight this every step of the way, and he's got God on his side, and I'm believing that. So either way, he's going to be healed, and I know it. So I got Bill and Mom there, and then I got my kids. I got Alexis, I got Chad right there. They're pretty, and then you got Chuck and Christina, how handsome they are. Then you got my baby boy Chase, and I think he's a doll baby too. And then you got all the grandkids. You got Mac and Nate and Mason and Riley, and back there is Sydney, and then you got Mimi, and they love their grandma, and I love her too. And then there was this picture that Alexis posted of Nate and Mac, and they were down at the farm, and it just made me smile, and it just made me think of hope. And I'm just praying for the hope and no hope of the future for them, and it just made me feel good. And so I posted that and just praying for them. And then you got my friends, you got Laura, and you got Dottie, you got Tammy and Paul and Victor and Kay. And of course, that's us. And my other friend up here, Kristen, and my running buddy, Ashley, who does all the crazy biking and running. I can always count on her to do crazy with me. You got my daughters up here, Kayla and Katie, and I'm just constantly praying over my friends and my kids, and just asking God to keep them safe. God, keep them safe, keep them safe. And um, so that's what I continue to pray, and that God will just guide them and through these tough times with their families, and that He will keep a protective hand on them. And then I put my garden, I put vegetables down here. Keith and I are growing a garden. My husband's trying to teach me how to be a gardener, which I am not, but I'm learning. I'm having fun, and I'm trying to tell him what to do, and I really don't know what I'm doing. And he's the farmer, and I'm not. But I'm praying that God will just give us an abundance of vegetables, and we'll be able to eat those and share those with our friends. So I put my garden on here, and then I put my Jaguars. I love what I do. I love Spalding High School. I love all the schools I've been at. And I'm at Spalding High right now, and I love the Jaguars, and I'm playing for my Jaguar family. They've been so awesome through this time, just watching their hard work and dedications. I'm really believing that people are going to come to a new appreciation about what educators do and what these teachers do every day. It's a tough business, but they have been champions, and I'm just praying that God continue to give them strength and courage, and that they just press forward and press on. And I even put it up here, Spalding High teachers. God, just praying for them just to be reminded. I put down class of 2020. They're struggling. Their seniors are struggling, and I just think, God, they worked all these years, and what about prom? What about graduation? What about honors night? What about all these things that, typically they would be running around just, wide open. And right now we're just in lockdown, and they're just struggling with that. And so I just pray that God's with these kids right now as we try to figure all these things out. And then I put my pastor up here, Pastor Benny, Dr. Benny Tate, and I just love him, and he has just been a blessing to me. And I know that it must be difficult right now. All these pastors are live streaming their sermons on Sunday because nobody can go to the churches. But how difficult it must be preach to nobody. Like nobody's sitting there. Like you can't see your audience, and there's no immediate feedback. And what does that look like? So does it encourage you to continue to support your churches financially because you know they have staff and there that we want to still be there when we get back. And so I'm just praying for Pastor Benny and his guidance there. And down here, I put Rock Springs Church, because that's my church, but any church. And so, but you don't always realize how much you miss something until you don't get to do it. Like we take for granted that you can just get up and go to church every Sunday, and then all of a sudden you can't go to church. And so I miss, my small group, Ray and Renee and Lee and Debbie and Shelly. And, you know, we're just able to text and talk by phone, and I miss them. So I'm praying for my church, and I got to meet yesterday with my um, Wednesday night Bible study group. Courtney did a Zoom, and that was, it was just good to see everybody's faces, and I was just so proud of some of the older generation. They were Zooming and having these virtual meetings. It was kind of cool, and so I just continuing to pray. And so anyway, I made this prayer board, and it's sitting in my office. And when I'm here all by myself and I'm frustrated or I'm just aggravated, I can just look at it. And it's just a visual of things that remind me of what I'm praying for and what I need to stay focused on. But it also reminded me of what's really important to me. And these are the things that are really important to me. I love my family and my friends. I love my school. I love my job. I'm so thankful for the job that God has allowed me to do. And then right in the middle of this, I put the faith over fear. That has been the kind of the theme during this COVID time, that God would just help me to have faith and not let fear rise up in my spirit. And then I just kind of went around and wrote some things that I thought were important for me to be reminded of. And this is sitting, in my office. And so I'm sharing it with you. Don't make fun of my artistic work. I know it's not great. I know some of you guys are great artists. So, I hope you might consider doing this with your kids or as a family. Do it together. Make a prayer board together. What a great activity for a whole family to do. And put it up in your house during this time and just be encouraged by it. Not only are these things you're praying for, but you'll see really what you pray for, those things that are important to you. And you're going to see just how many things you have to be thankful for as well. And it just lifted my heart and it made me feel good. And it just makes me smile every time I look at it. There's some great memories. And so I hope that you might consider doing a prayer board. And if you do one, I hope you'll share it with me. I'd love to see them and just be encouraged and just know that I'm praying for our community, and I'm praying for all my friends and family. And I know we're going to get through this. So just be encouraged.